Alright guys, welcome back. We're going to be going over UFC 272. We got GameBred. Jorge Masvidal, ranked number 6, plus 250, 35-15. But before we get into the guy challenging him, we're sponsored by Tampa Bless, home of Team Do Good, tampabless.com for more information on that. You can check out their merch store if you like their stuff. Alright, well, Jorge GameBred, he's coming off those 2 losses to Kamaru Usman. No shame there, but he's going up against Colby Covington, Mr. Chaos himself, who's right now still ranked number 1. He's minus 320 favorite. He's 16-3, and he's also coming off to a loss to Usman. He has a pair of losses to Usman himself, but he has the one victory over Woodley in between. Tom, big GameBred fan. GameBred grows on you. He does. I like him. How do you see this one playing out?
Well, I got to say, first off, I am a big fan of both these guys. Kobe's growing on me. So I like Kobe a lot and I like Jorge a lot, but somebody's got to win and somebody's got to lose here, So here we go. You got the American Colby Covington on one side, 34 years old, 5'9" in height. The American Jorge Masvidal on the other side, 37 years old, 5'9" in height. Masvidal holds a 2-inch reach advantage. Colby's 16-3-0 overall, 11-3-0 in the UFC. D1 wrestling background, and he's decorated D1 wrestling as well. He's coming off that unanimous decision loss to Usman in November 2021. Jorge on the other side, 35-15-0, UFC 12-8-0. 4 of those losses, though, were split decisions of his 8 losses in the UFC. So those very close losses there. Coming off a KO loss to Usman in April 2021, which is crazy. It's almost a year now. Next month will be a year. My pick, well, I could see it going a few different ways. I really like both fighters. I think Colby's getting better at the stand-up game. I want to point that out. I remember like a ways back, we were pointing that out and highlighting that Usman was getting better at his stand-up game. And he's done that. And now it's definitely already integrated into his skill set. But it was building. And I see that happening with Colby now, too. Jorge should be wary of this. He should be wary that he could potentially get finished in the stand-up by Colby. I also think Colby needs to be wary and not get too cocky and overdo the stand-up and have Jorge put him to sleep on the other end. So I could see it going either way there. Obviously, Jorge needs to be wary of the takedown because that's where you probably suspect Colby's going to want to take it, but he might not. He might be getting kind of happy with his stand-up and might want to go ahead and stand up with Jorge, so we'll see. That said, I think if Colby's gets too happy with the stand-up, like I said, I think he could be in trouble. Jorge's electric. He could shock the world, as we know. Tough call here. Likely a war, but could be a ground grind as well, depending on how Colby wants to go. I'm leaning towards Colby by decision or Masvidal by like TKO 1 or 2, round 1 or 2. Colby could also finish Masvidal, though, in the stand-up. That's possible. Colby against Usman, at one point, Colby got rocked. Usman sprawled on him. I think if Colby gets rocked against Jorge, Jorge will not sprawl on him. He will finish him. On the other side of that, though, later in that fight, Colby actually did a quick put Usman a little bit on Front Street. He was kind of wobbling. Yeah. So you could see, and that's from a very strong stand-up guy, Usman. So you could see that potentially happening to Jorge as well. Colby's gotten a lot better. I'm going to go with, like I said, I could see both those possibilities. I'm rocking GameBred today, but I'm leaning towards a decision by Colby. A decision win here.
Yeah, I agree. This fight kind of seems a little easier to me. Colby, top welterweight. I mean, and if Usman wasn't there, we know Colby would be the champ. Basically, that's how it goes down. He's put a beating on pretty much everyone he's fought, except for Usman. And he actually had 2 savage fights with Usman. The best fights that anyone's given Usman in the UFC, by bar none. Now, here's the problem I have is as good as Jorge is and as much of a fan favorite as he is, he doesn't beat the top 5 guys. I think his popularity got him the title shots. We can argue that all you want. Kobe probably goes by decision, though. Jorge does have an incredible chin. Just because he got knocked out once doesn't take away from that dude's chin. He does have an incredible chin. He's got very strong stand-up. I just think Kobe has surpassed him in a lot of levels. As you mentioned, he's definitely got top-tier takedowns, and he grinds the whole time. He never stops. I agree with you. I think Kobe gets it done. This is a big one for me. I definitely would be sprinkling a little right here on Kobe. I don't know how he exactly finishes, but I'm guessing decision would be my thing. Into the card market, though, this is a really tricky one with both of these guys. Jorge probably never is going to be the champ, but he has that strong following. He has the popularity. The guy is the Miami King down there. Let's just be real. But what can drive his card prices higher at this point? If he doesn't get this win, he's going to go back down to being more of a journeyman. And not that I think there's anything wrong with that. He's going to look for money fights and good. Let Jorge get rich. I don't hate on that. Get rich, Jorge. But I just have to put a sell on him because I don't see what's going to drive him higher to that next level at this moment. Kobe, on the other hand, now he's been printed a while too. Printed in 2015 is his rookie card. He's a top contender. The problem is Usman is just that good. Can he get it done in a trilogy match? Listen, he's gotten closer each time. The kid's incredible. Let's not take that away from how good he really is and how some people, I didn't, but some people did score him 3-2 in that last fight against Usman. I didn't see it that way, but some people did. So
I didn't either. I had it 3-2 the other way.
But it was that close. You could almost see how people did see that. Now, the other problem I have for Kobe is there's some big names surging in that welterweight division. If Hamzat comes out and beats Gilbert Burns, what do you do with that guy? That guy's he's already for real. But then now he's a scary for real. So for me, you kind of got to sell Kobe on this super hype right here just because he struggles with Usman. And then what happens when these other guys come up the food chain look that good? I don't know. I mean, you could put him as a hold in your collection, but I'm putting a sell. Get him while the getting's good. But let's move right on because this card is just stacked with good fights if you're a real fan. Mm-hmm. We got a catchweight battle right now. We got Rafael Dos Anjos, who's ranked number 6. He's a -165 favorite. He's 30-13, and his last fight was a win against Felder. But before that, he lost to Chiesa and Edwards. So he's 2 out of his last 6, and not that impressive in his last few fights. He's going up against Renato Moicano, who's ranked number 11, +145 underdog. He's 16-4-1. He's on that 2-fight winning streak, last beating Hernandez and Jai Herbert. This is a massive step up for Renato. It's a step up in weight. It's a step up in competition. This could really catapult this guy's career right here. Tom, how do you see this one playing out?
All right, you got our DA, Rafael Dos Anjos on one side, the Brazilian, 37 years old, 5'7" in height. The other side, the Brazilian Renato Moicano, 32 years old, 5'9" in height, and he holds a 2-inch reach advantage. Dos Anjos, 30-13-0 overall, 19-11-0 in the UFC. He's got a ton of fights. If he wins this will be win number 20 for him in the UFC if he gets it. He's a 4th-degree black belt in BJJ. He's a black Prajid in Muay Thai. He's fought everyone. If you look, he's fought everyone. Khabib, everyone. He's coming off a split decision win over Paul Felder. Now remember this date, November 2020. It's been almost a year and a half since he's gotten in the cage. On the other side, Moicano, 16-4-1, UFC 8-4. He's a black belt in BJJ and a black belt in Muay Thai. He's coming off that rear naked choke sub round 2 of Alexander Hernandez just last month, February 2022. He's definitely the fresher fighter in terms of just ring time. He might be still a little taxed off last month's fight, though, if you want to talk about that aspect of freshness. But in terms of being active, he's been much more active than RDA. My pick, you know, Renato's a live dog here, man. But I'm leaning towards RDA by decision or possibly a sub or strikes round 1.
Right. I like it. I like it. This fight looks really close on paper. My real question about this fight is, at 37 years old, what does Dos Anjos have left in the tank? As you mentioned, he's fought the who's who. Renato has not fared well against a lot of the top guys. Take a look at his record. He's getting beat by the top tier guys. And RDA was a top tier guy for a very long time. For all the big names, and for all the big names at 170 as of late. He's just dropping back down to lightweight. I feel Dos Anjos is the bigger guy. He's stronger. He's a stronger wrestler. He's got a lot more top-level experience. He's got a lot more wins. If he's healthy, not showing his age, I think he rolls here. I think he dominates this one. Moicano was a featherweight and just moving up because he had a hard time making that weight. He's a lightweight. Now he's giving up another 5 pounds in the catch weight to RDA, was a top-tier welterweight. That's the big problem here. I agree. I think RDA steamrolls here. 37, though, I have a few question marks about it. But if he is in good shape, took off, healed himself up, RDA should get the victory here pretty handily. I don't say there's always a live dog, but RDA in this one. Now, in the card market, I think, honestly, both these guys stay cheap. Moicano printed in 2019 Museum. He's actually not an easy find, but they're very cheap. If you just check eBay, I think there's only 2 of his rookie card. Very crazy. That just shows you the amount of museum collection opened and for sale. It's not a ton. But he's only like $8, so if you want him, you can get him. Dos Anjos printed back in 2010. He had a dual card with Tyson Griffin. A lot of people might not consider that his rookie card. Printed again in 2012. I believe many believe this is the rookie card for him. I have a sell on him, though. I think he's had great runs. He's had great fights. I just don't think he's going to be able to get that title shot again. And you sell him while he's hot in the sport. You don't want him to fade off, and that'll be it. People won't even know his name as new fans come into the sport. So, guys, just be careful with this one. It's a catchweight. Remember, RDA is a welterweight coming down. All right, we got another one. This one could be the fight of the night right here. A featherweight bout. Edson Barbosa, ranked 10, plus 145 underdog for Barbosa. Again, the guy's always getting the underdog spot. He's 22-10. He's going up against Bryce Mitchell, who's ranked number 11, minus 165. Favorite as we're speaking. He's 14-0, and his last wins were Andre Fili and Charles Rosa. Tom, as good as Bryce Mitchell is, does Barbosa have another upset in the tank?
All right, you got Edson Barbosa, the Brazilian, on one side, 36 years old, 5'9" in height. He holds a 5-inch reach advantage over the American Bryce Mitchell, 27 years old, who's an inch shorter at 5'8" in height. Edson, 22-10-0, overall UFC 16-10-0. He's a black Brazilian Muay Thai, black belt in Taekwondo, and a brown belt in BJJ. His kickboxing record is 25-3, and he's coming off a TKO punches round 3 loss to Giga in August 2021. On the other side, Bryce Mitchell, 14-1-0 overall UFC. He's 5-0. He's undefeated in the UFC still. Black belt in BJJ, and he's coming off a unanimous decision win over Andre Fili in October 2020. It's been about a year and a half since Bryce has been in the cage. Same as RDA. You're wondering what have they done with that time.
We know Bryce Mitchell put out a rap album. Just throwing it out there. He's got that rap. He's got the rap album out, so he's been busy. He hasn't been sitting still. Thug Nasty, that's right.
So let me tell you, it's a tough call here. Good matchup. Thug Nasty wants to get it to the ground, even though Barbosa's no slouch on the ground. Mitchell's going to have an advantage in my mind. But you know what? I'm going with the underdog here, man. I'm going with Edson by decision, or strikes round
I
3.
can't argue that at all. I've been going back and forth. I watched some tape on this, not as much as normal, but yeah, honestly, this fight should be very close. Edson shows up to every fight, and he's fought every top name. It's like RDA. This guy has fought everybody, lightweight and featherweight. The dude is incredible. He's a legend. He's got very good takedown defense. We all know how good his striking skills are, too. I just don't love that Mitchell's the favorite here. That's my problem. I don't think Mitchell should be the favorite. He's never fought anyone near as good as Barbosa, and if he can't get him down, this dude's in for a long day at the office. I think the one advantage Bryce has is his gas tank. Barbosa does fade a lot in the later rounds. I know it's only a 3-round fight, but a lot of times round 3, Barbosa is gas, especially if Bryce Mitchell does have that farm strength. I think he eats some shot, gets in, wrestles. I'm not even saying he gets him to the ground, but just gasses him out round 1, round 2. And I think we might see Mitchell get that round 3 submission if he can really gas Barbosa. Now, don't get me wrong. I totally can see Barbosa taking this one. This isn't one that I really would like to lay heavy on at all. Because, yeah, Bryce Mitchell hasn't fought anyone like this. This Barbosa's very good. And every time I count Barbosa out, he gets a spinning kick knockout or something. It's just, he's still there. He's still very talented. And Mitchell's the one who should be the underdog, really. I mean, this is the who's who. Now, let's get into the card market a little bit. If Mitchell shows up here and wins, you better have bought this guy before the fight because the hype train is going to go nuts on him. You know, he's still going to be undefeated there. He's just printed in 21 Prism. And he's going to have beaten one of the legends still in the UFC game here in Barbosa. He's going to have to get up there. He's going to go for big money. I'm telling you. I don't want to say I have a buy on him, but you got to buy him before the fight goes off because if he wins, he's shooting right up. Edson, legend in the sport, but some legends just never get the gold. They don't get to keep the gold, and it hurts their value over time. It does. It's just you're not in the limelight enough. Edson's on the older side, so
Arlovsky's a perfect example.
Right. I love Arlovsky, but same thing.
Arlovsky's amazing.
You're not going to get big money for Arlovsky. I don't believe you're going to get big money for Barbosa. Sometimes you got to just sell while they're in the limelight and just cut your losses or make your profit, whatever it is for you. But the longer you hold, the more he probably fades a little bit, because the new people are just not going to know how legendary Barbosa really is. All right, we got another fight. Honestly, this might be my favorite fight on the card right here. We got a welterweight battle. Kevin Holland. Big Kevin Holland fan. He's ranked number 14 right now. He's a minus 335 favorite, which I actually feel is fair. He's 21-7, and he's got the no contest in his last fight versus Dawkins. And before that, he had 2 losses, but 2 losses to top-tier guys, and also those were both in the middleweight division. He's going up against Cowboy Alex Oliveira, plus 260 underdog. He's 22-11-1. He's on that 3-fight losing streak, though. Nico Price got him. Randy Brown, I believe that was the one-arm choke. Incredible. And Shafkat. I mean, really, all those guys are monsters in their own right. Tom, how do you see this one playing out?
All right, Kevin Holland, the American on one side, 29 years old, 6'2" in height. He holds a 4.5-inch reach advantage over the Brazilian Alex Oliveira, Cowboy Oliveira, 34 years old. He's 5'9" in height. Kevin Holland, 21-7-0 with 1 no contest, which was the head clash with Dawkins. UFC 8-3-0 with the 1 no contest. He's a second-degree black belt in Kung Fu, black belt in BJJ. His kickboxing record's 2-1. He's coming off that no contest versus Kyle Dawkins in October 2021, but he had 2 losses in a row before that. So both these guys are in need of a win, and someone's going to get it. On the other side, Cowboy, 22-11-1 with 2 no contests. I, for some reason, forgot to write down what his record in the UFC is. His kickboxing record is 3-0. He's a dark blue Prajid in Muay Thai and a blue belt in BJJ. He's coming off a unanimous decision loss to Nico Price in October 2021, and that's 3 losses in a row for him. So he's got the 3 losses in a row. On the other side, Holland's got 2 losses and the no contest. So they both haven't seen a W in a minute. Both these guys have their back against the wall in my mind, just because of what I just said. Does Cowboy make weight? Where's Cowboy's head at? That's always the question. What Cowboy's going to show up? He's dangerous, but I think Kevin wins by strikes round 3 or a decision.
All right. Yeah, I mean, this fight, I really want to watch the weigh-ins for this fight just because this is the first time we're seeing Kevin Holland down at the welterweight. And we know Kevin, he normally doesn't even weigh in at the middleweight ground, so it shouldn't be a problem, but he's very thin. So I just want to see how he makes weight. It's kind of important. And as you mentioned, Cowboy misses weight all the time, too. Cowboy, a legend, though. Another, really. He is a legend in there. And he makes you feel like he can beat anyone, but it just feels like that's not true anymore. I don't know if it's mental with Cowboy, as you mentioned, where's his head out, or if these guys are just that much better than him. Have they vastly improved? Which, I mean, Shafkat, my goodness, he looks incredible. Randy Brown does look incredible. So Kevin, though, on the other hand, super talented dude. And one thing about Kevin Holland, he is working on his weaknesses. We know what happened in the Brunson fight. He got taken down like 5 times, held down. He had a hard time. He gets up pretty well, but Brunson's another level for a wrestler. Then he goes up against Marvin Vettori. Marvin gets a ton of takedowns, hold him down. They don't do a lot of damage to him down there. He's very talented. As you mentioned, he's a black belt BJJ. He's very talented all around. Jacare, he gets a knockout on the ground. Nobody saw that coming. So the question is, how much is his wrestling improving? And it looked like versus Dawkins, it was improving. And he just had another wrestling match not too long ago, Kevin Holland. So he's working on it. He's down there. He's grinding. I think that's a big advantage. Now Kevin's got fast hand.
I don't think Cowboy's going to take it to the ground though. We'll see.
I don't think so either. I think he got fast hand. I think he's got power in his hand. I think he's going down in weight, which means he should be the bigger guy, potentially, for once, because he's always a smaller guy in there. He might be taller, but he's always thinner. He's never even makes the middleweight limit, as I mentioned. I think he knocks out Cowboy early, maybe round 1, maybe round 2. As you mentioned, I don't think Cowboy goes for the takedowns. I don't even think he gets the takedowns if he really goes for them. And I think
well, Cowboy likes to strike.
He loves it. Plus, Cowboy gasses. So imagine Cowboy trying to wrestle. He would be totally gassed. No question in my mind, Cowboy's not wrestling for 3 rounds. No shot. It's just not going to happen. Can't shoot for takedowns for 3 rounds. Card market. Holland, he's a buy. If he can stay at this weight class and he looks healthy down here, which I think he should, I think he can climb the rankings fast. The dude is good. He's already ranked number 14 in the middleweights. I mean, he was winning as a middleweight. It wasn't like he was a chump up there. You're talking he lost to Vettori and Brunson, like 2 top 5ers. There's no slouch. Before that, he was just knocking dudes out. Cowboy, I got the same problem. He was printed recently in 2019 Chrome. Beautiful set. I got to put a sell on Cowboy. He's just not looking like the same Cowboy as old. If he comes out and surprises us, though, that's some rejuvenation. I might see him fighting in the Eagle FC soon because another loss in a row is not going to look good for Cowboy. As you mentioned, I see him kind of on the chopping block right now. I don't know. I could be wrong, but you gotta produce in the UFC. It's just the competition's too fierce. All right, now we got another fight. This fight can headline a lot of cards. It's crazy where this fight falls. We got the strawweight battle. Marina Rodriguez, ranked number 3, minus 260 favorite. She's 15-1-2. She's on a 3-fight winning streak, and she beat some top-tier girls here. She beat Dern, Waterson, and Hebos all in a row. She's going up against Yan Zhao-Nen, ranked number 4, plus 210. She's 13-2 with that one no contest, and her last fight was a loss to Carla Esparza. And Carla should be fighting for the belt, so no real shame in losing to Carla. Tom, how do you see this one playing out right here?
All right, Marina Rodriguez, the Brazilian on one side, 34 years old, 5'5" in height, holds a 2-inch reach advantage over Yan Jianan, the Chinese, 32 years old, 5'4" in height. Marina, 15-1-2. Overall, UFC 5-1-2. She lost that split decision to Carla. Coming off a unanimous decision win over Mackenzie Dern in October 2021, and that's 3 wins in a row. She wins this, it'll be 4 in a row. She's got a real claim at the winner of Carla versus
Rose.
Rose. Yeah, Carla Rose. I think she's up next. She's a purple belt in BJJ, dark blue with a black tip belt in Muay Thai. Jan on the other side, coming off of TKO punches, round 2 lost to Carla Esperanza in May 2021. I don't think many people saw that coming. Carla's starting to step up her finishing game, so she's starting to round out as well.
Yeah, she is.
I think Marina is going to be too much in the striking department and win by decision or potentially a round 2 stoppage.
Yeah, this fight may be really close. It's very hard to tell. Both girls stand up, both girls strikers. Great for us fans. I am with you, though. I think Marina just has a few advantages here. She's got serious power in her hands. The girls don't want to stand up and strike with Marina. I feel she's got an experience edge, too. If you look at the list of who she's fought, and that she's only got 1 loss, and it was a split decision loss. I mean, that just shows you how good she is. Yan doesn't have that same competition except for her 1 loss to Carla, and it was a loss. So that's the only girl she's fought that's really top tier. The rest of them, she's been on stepping grounds. I think Jan's got really good stand-up. Is it good enough to beat Marina? We'll find out, but I don't think so. And I'm a big fan of Jan, and I like her. I'm a fan. I also like Maria to stay in range, trade, edge out. I think it's going to be decision, but I think it's going to be 30-27, 30-27, 30-27 for Marina. I mean, she's beating all the prospects that come up. Dern is a monster. Michelle, the Karate Hotties, is very, very talented. And Amanda Hebus, another prospect. She's the one knocking them off. Yan is not doing that. I got to say, card market, Marina has to be a buy. She's a little older to still have to wait for that title shot. I'd like to see her in there ASAP, but she's not too old. But we got to get her in there right away. And now her only split decision loss, knocking off prospects and everything like that. 2019's her rookie card, and it's already doubled in price over the past year or so. And her rookie, she also has a rookie auto in that set, and that's also doubled in price. So Marina is being sought after slowly, but if she gets that title shot, look out. I honestly don't know if I see Rose beating her. Carla, we know it was a very close, good fight. You just don't know because Carla is getting better too. I don't know if I see Rose beating her, though. I know people love Rose, but whatever. We can talk about that later. Jan, I got to put a hold on her. She was just printed in Prism. With the win here, though, she's right back in the title contention. And I'll gladly change my hold to a buy. And she's so cheap. If you want to speculate on her, it's a good time to spec on her. Now, there's a lot of fights on this card here. We're going to go over the flyweight battle between Tim Elliott. He's ranked 13, plus 205 dog, 17-12-1. And his last fight was that loss to Matthias Nicolau, where normally we're on the glory camp. Love James Crouch as a coach. James Krause as a coach. I think Krause screwed that one up. I honestly do. He told Tim Elliott, that he was up 2 rounds, and he kind of coasted in that 3rd round when he needed that 3rd round, and he might have been able to win that fight. I'm just saying that.
Yep, I remember that.
Yeah, it was a very close fight. I think Elliott could have won that fight, but it looked like when James Krause told him, you're up 2 rounds, it looked like he kind of turned it off a little into like non-aggressive, let me just play defense here. Just wasn't good. Now he's going up against Tagir Willem Beckhoff, who's ranked 15, minus 255 favorite, 14-1. He's on that 5-fight winning streak, last beating Alan Nascimento, who he had on the ground the entire time. But my goodness, Nascimento had a great guard and was just throwing up submission attempt against submission attempt. It was some of them were damn close too. Really, it was a good fight. It was a grappling war. Tom, how do you see this one playing out? I think Tim Elliott is a very live dog here.
All right, Tim Elliott, the American on one side, 35 years old, 5'6" in height. Other side, you got the Russian Tagir Beckhoff, 30 years old, 5'4" in height. Although 2 inches shorter than Tim Elliott, he holds a 4-inch reach advantage. Tim, 18, 12, and 1 overall. UFC, he actually has a losing record. He's 9-10. I like to refer to him as the Angela Hill of the men's division.
Oh,
he's a blue belt. He's always kind of a live dog. Nah, I don't think so. Angela's one of those fighters too, to where they're live dogs. Things don't always go their way, but they're never fully out either. It's not like you think they're gonna get crushed out there. They're always in it, and their records are just slightly losing, just like Tim's is here. But he could even it back to 500. Blue belt in BJJ, and he's a D2 wrestling. He's got that D2 wrestling background as well. He's coming off the unanimous decision loss, as you referred to, against Mateus Nicolau, October 2021. The other side, Tagir, 14-1-0. UFC, he's only 1-0, but he's got a pretty big hype train behind him. He's coming off a split decision win over Alan Nascimento in October 2021. My pick, it's tough to ever go against these fighters out of Dagestan. But you know what? I'm rolling with the American Tim Elliott, baby.
I think it's a great pick.
Decision.
It's a good pick.
Let's go.
Yeah, this is another close fight. I don't trust that Willem Beckhoff has that huge wrestling advantage over Tim Elliott. We saw Nascimento almost submit him. I mean, I didn't think it was a split decision, but whatever. But Tim Elliott is a dog out there. Elliott has looked so much better since being with the Kraus camp over at Glory, or getting a new head coach, however you want to look at that. I think we see high level grappling for 3 rounds here. I think Tagir is going to edge a decision. I wouldn't be surprised if Elliott edges it, though. I honestly wouldn't. But I'm taking Tagir, 3 rounds, grappling, decision. I don't think we get too many crazy strikes. I don't think we get too much stand up. I think it's just going to be who's stronger to get on top. That's what I think it's going to be. Who can scramble better. And I think Tagir might have a slight edge in the rolls and stuff. After we saw him get out of those things with Nascimento putting him in, I like it. But, yeah, Tim Elliott's definitely live here. No question. I'm not looking to sprinkle on this one. Elliott, card game here. I just don't think he's going to climb fast enough at this point. Even if he climbs a little bit, he's more of a gatekeeper than he is a top tier guy. So you got to kind of, same thing with him. You got to sell that hype train while he looks really good. I don't think he's climbing all the way back up. The flyweight division, it's another one of these divisions. It's pretty stacked. I don't know. I'm not seeing it. The champ is legit up there. So now Tagir, he trains with the great camp, right? I mean, he's out of Dagestan, but I think he's down at like ATT. He's got a ton of good wrestlers down there. He doesn't look the same as all those guys that are down there in that camp, though. Those guys are all short, stacked guys, like Dillashaw was down there or whatever, Mendez and all those guys. Can he step up, though, and be even better than he's looked? I just don't know. I'd like to say yes, but we got time on him anyways. He's not printed, so we'll wait to see him printed. All right, we got another quick pick kind of coming up here. I got a flyweight battle here. Marina Rodriguez, plus 150 underdog. She's 10-3. She's on that 2-fight winning streak. She beat Buena Silva and Mazo. She's going up against Maria Agapova, minus 170. She's 10-2, and she last beat Mazo. Now this fight is for real here. This is a beef fight. Moroz is the one who spread all the rumors about her. Going drunk, stabbing this guy, doing all those crazy things. So this guy with the real beef. Now, Tom, you got a pick for this one?
I didn't prep on this one, so I'm going to shoot it from the hip. I think it could really go either way. I heard the one go what's her first name?
Maria Agapova and Marina Moroz.
No, Moroz. Yeah, Moroz. I heard her talking. She wants to lump up Agapova's face, and I'm sure Agapova's feeling the same way.
Right.
It's going to be good. I thought I kind of underestimated Agapova last fight. She looked good. I think she's getting better. I think she's progressing. I'm going to give her the edge here. I don't know if anybody's going to get finished, but we'll see. I mean, some of these girls, it's hard to get finishes, but I'm going to lean towards a decision here, kind of in a war. But hey, maybe we'll see a finish. I'm going to lean with
All
Agapova.
right. Yeah. I'm not going to argue that. I got this fight is another one that I feel can go either way. We got a live dog here. Moroz has been improving greatly with her takedowns and her wrestling, and for sure, live dog. My real question is here, which Agapova shows up? They have the real beef here. Does that get in either of these girls' heads? We don't know. Does
Right.
Agapova look like her last fight where she knocked her out? Right? That was a great fight.
Mm-hmm.
Or does she look like when she fought Dobson and just didn't show up at all? Mentally, she wasn't there. So we don't know. Were the rumors true? We don't know. Now, if she's making improvements, Agapova does have real power. We've seen it multiple times. She's got it. Not many girls do have that power. She's one of the few. She's young. She's strong. I'm taking Agapova here. She did it for me last time. Everybody doubted it. I think she lights out Moroz here. That's my pick. But I can see.
What round?
I think it's going to go second round.
Okay.
The question is, can she
I
really
like it.
find the shot to knock her out on Moroz, though? Because Moroz is going to come in wrestling heavy background. She's been working on it. Take a look at her last 2 fights versus her previous 8 fights or whatever. Both girls, for me, they're holds. They're both young. They both got a lot of climbing to do. And they both got to really improve if they think they're going to get that championship belt. I actually do love the one fight for Valentina that she's getting next. I feel like we might have a real, I don't want to say contender, but
Santos?
yeah, Tyler Santos has power, man. She's a big girl. She's
good, but I've seen a number of people comment that they feel like she would, if the UFC kind of grew her a little bit more before this fight, they might be throwing her in a little bit prematurely. Like, they're kind of saying they believe there's a better version of her that could appear against Valentina if they just wait a little bit. But they're not, and this could be, like it's happened to many people, they meet the bullet.
Yeah, listen, I'm not saying I'm picking Santos over Valentina. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying she is the first girl that Valentina's fighting in this division, since going down to 125, that is going to be bigger, potentially stronger, has that, like, not quite one-touch power, but she's got the real power in her hands where she could daze.
Valentina bullied Andrade. I don't know if Talia's going to be stronger. We'll see.
I think Talia's bigger and stronger than Andrade. Definitely has reach and everything over Andrade.
Valentina did bully her, though. We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see.
Valentina's definitely gotten stronger.
Listen, I'm not, like I said, I'm not betting against Valentina. I'm just saying this potentially has. Listen, it's a much better competitor than the last ones that she's gone up against. As good as Caitlin Chikugian is, 99 out of 100 times Valentina beats her, and the other time is Valentina trips on her ankle. Like, I mean, it's just Valentina's wiping that division out 100% of the time. But Santos is legit. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying she wins. I'm just saying it's much better than it's been. Now, the next few fights, guys, they're not going to be part of my official picks where you're going to have to beat me. But not going into depth. I just want to, because these.
So that was 7 fights, y'all.
7
we
fights.
Just did 7.
I just want to comment on a couple. Umar Nurmagomedov, guy's a stud. He's legit. He's cousins with your boy Habib there. He's going to be on the rise. This guy's a buy when
country cousin.
Yeah, he's gonna buy when he comes out. No, I think it's his real cousin, right? That's his real cousin, this Nurmagomedov.
I don't know.
Yeah, I'm pretty
just
sure
like
it's
saying
his real cousin. This is a buy when he comes out in prison. He's minus 700 and on the climb against Brian Kelleher. I like Brian Kelleher. I feel like Brian Kelleher, I feel like he could be a live dog. He's got power, he's got wrestling, but at the same time, no. Umar is going to show he's nasty. Nurmagomedov gets that victory there. Now, one of my favorite fights on the card, early prelims. I know you like it.
It's a first.
Jacoby and Olin Sejak. I love that fight. Mikhail Olin Sejak, he comes forward.
Jacoby is the most underrated as far as where he gets placed. The guy is super game, and they keep putting him on the lowest portion of the lowest card.
He's super high level, too. He's so good. I'm a big fan of Jacoby. I'm a big fan of Mikhail Olin Sejak because that guy just comes forward, marches forward, eats shots. I'm not very confident, but I think Jacoby does get it done here. The problem is if Mikhail can get him on his back foot, I don't know how Jacoby does moving backwards. And Mikhail always moves forwards, even if he's getting lit up. But we'll see. I think Jacoby's got the kicks, and Mikhail normally only hands. He's more of a boxer. I think definitely Jacoby's a little more well-rounded. I like him. I'll probably be sprinkling on that one too. And the other guy, he would have made it, but he had that bad loss where he looks more busted of a prospect. My man, Kennedy Nchukwu. I love Nchukwu, but he disappointed me in that last one. He doesn't seem to be as good as I thought.
One was terrible.
Yeah, I just hope he can improve. The guy has the frame. The guy's got the work ethic. The guy's got a lot of stuff going for him. He's got power. I thought he had a little bit better of a chin. It looks like he's got a great chin in some fights. He's got to improve that game a little bit. He's still young, though. He's still young. Don't sleep on him. I think this is going to be a big bounce-back win for him right here. I'm going Nchukwu in that one, guys. I just wanted to throw those out there so you got some of my picks. Guys, I really appreciate everyone joining us right here.
Yo, real quick, I just want to say, I got to say real quick, man, I was bummed out that Islam, who spoke up about coming in to fight RDA, and then it turns out he was just talking smack because he didn't take the fight. And now Dana circled back and put the smack on him and said, you're not getting a title fight now, and you got to wait for Beneil to come back and fight him first. No. So that was like disastrous move by Islam.
I wonder what
was he thinking?
I wonder what that was. I wonder if it was weight or this, because honestly, I think Islam wipes the floor with RDA, even at 170.
I'm not gonna. I don't know, but I was super stoked on that. That was like that took me up and then went bang. I thought Islam was talking for real. Like, why'd you chime in then?
Yeah, I don't know. I would have loved to see that fight too. And honestly, you would see how good Islam really is if he goes up and beats RDA at a higher weight class. It would have been incredible. Or at even the catch weight, it still would have been a higher weight. It would have been unbelievable because RDA. Like I said, I mean, I went over my RDA spiel.
RDA is amazing. He's fought everyone.
I don't know if age is starting to creep in on him, though. That's the only problem I have. But
no, I know, but it would be a good benchmark of where Islam's at.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely. I do know what you mean, and I'm 100% with you. I think we all wanted to see that fight. Everybody wants Islam to get back in there as fast as possible. All right, but guys, we appreciate you joining us, taking the time to watch us, and we'll see you guys next time.